We have 1 minute left na lang po. As of now, we have 96 participants and only 70 responses pa lang po yung nare-receive ko. Some of the mentees have a score of 4 and 4 po yung naka-9. So, wag po masyadong kadibdibin yung ating pretest kasi most of the pretest naman po ay ma-discuss in detail sa ating lesson for today. So, if you have questions po dun sa ating mga questionnaires, you may raise them po after the lecture.
Okay, PM, siguro we can start na.
Okay po, yes. Yes po, ma'am. I will start to share my screen na po. Clear po ba yung audio ko before po ako mag-start?
Yes, PM, very clear.
Okay po. So, kung maaalala nyo po, yung sa pinakaunang session po ng ating review, kung saan nagbigay po ako ng tip, I would like to ask one of the mentees to start a short prayer po bago po tayo mag-proceed sa ating lecture para po guided po tayo dito sa ating lecture for this evening. So, Ma'am Pre, okay lang po bang tumawag ng isang participant po?
Sure po.
So, wait lang po. Si Sir Felnard po kaya? Felnard Esguera? Andyan po ba siya?
Nahihiya ang ating students sa prayer. Baka merong gustong
Mag-volunteer.
volunteer. Let us pray so that we can invoke the guidance. Diba? Para mas madaling pumasok yung ating mga pinapag-aralan. Wala, nahihiya. Sinong gusto? Sino ba nag-prayer last time?
Ma'am Pre, good afternoon.
Yeah, dyan pala si Ma'am.
Can I lead the prayer for the students?
Yes po, Ma'am. Thank you po. Sure po, Ma'am. Thank you.
Hi po, Ma'am Princess.
Hello po, ma'am. Good evening po.
Good evening. Ma'am Pre, good afternoon din po. Let's pray po. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus, for this afternoon. We're so blessed, oh God, because we have a committee na nagpe-perform para po sa i-review ng ating po mga eskwela nationwide sa pangunguna po ni Ma'am Precious, ni Ma'am Marie, Princess Marie Aligan, and then also thank you to Ma'am Patet and most especially to Sir Christian. Lord, thank you po for all those people na nagkaroon po ng mabisa at na matagumpay na review session for this afternoon. Lord, bigyan niyo po ng wisdom ang atin pong mga eskwela at kayo po ang magbigay ng guide. Bigyan niyo po ng kaunawaan, bigyan niyo po ng lakas, bigyan niyo po ng malakas na pangangatawan at kaisipan. At higit sa lahat, yung magandang relasyon sa iyo, Panginoon ko, upang ang lahat po ng pag-aaralan at i-discuss ng amin pong guro sa oras na ito, si Ma'am Marie, ay maunawaan po ng lahat ng mga estudyante. Muli at muli, Panginoon, ang pagpapala, pagpupuri, ay ibinabalik po namin sa iyo ang mataas na pasasalamat. Sa pangalan ng aming Panginoong Jesus, Amen and Amen. Thank you po again and good afternoon po sa lahat.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you, Ma'am Barcelon. So we'll now proceed to Ma'am Princess. Please
Yes,
take charge, take over. Thank you
Okay
po.
po, ma'am. So for our lesson for today po, our topic po is fish biology and morphology. So as you can see po, I have here several pictures of references wherein dito po ako magbe-base ng lecture po natin. Some of these books are accessible online po. I can provide a copy, PDF copy po, and I will send them after the lecture. So before everything po, ay define po natin yung fish. So fish is poikilothermic aquatic chordate with appendages when present, developed as fins whose chief respiratory organs are gills and whose body is usually covered with scales. So this is described by Berra in 2001. And the term poikilothermic, so sino po kayo makakapag-define yung term na poikilothermic? So most of the questions in the board exam are very basic. So, yung may mga terminology silang mga ginagamit na mapapaisip tayo kung yun ba yung tamang sagot or madali lang siya pero bakit hindi natin masagot. So, may mga tricky questions na naandun. So, yung poikilothermic, ibig sabihin po nun ay cold-blooded or ectotherms. So, let's take note of that po, poikilothermic. So another definition which was provided by the fish base, fish are vertebrate animals which have backbone that has gills and body covered with scales and lives in the water. So yun po yung ating definition ng fish. So dito po sa ating right side, we have two pictures. So who can differentiate these two pictures po based dun sa ating definition ng fish? So we have fish and we have fishes. So what is the difference between the two? So meron po ba makakasagot? Anyone po from the mentees? Ano po yung pinagkaiba pag sinabi nating fish at saka yung fishes? So parang nahihiya po ata yung ating mga participants or anyone po?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes po.
Hello. Yung ano po, yung fish po, isang species lang po siya ng ano, tapos yung sa kabila, yung fishes po, different species po ng fish.
Yes po ma'am, tama po yun. Pag sinabi po nating fish, it refers to one individual or single species. Pag sinabi naman po nating fishes, ito po ay regardless po sa number of involved species, it consists of different species of fish. So yun po yung ating differentiation ng fish and fishes. So ichthyology is a branch of zoology that deals with the study of fishes. So ito yung study kung saan ay mostly is about fishes. So si Peter Artedi, he is the father of ichthyology. So may mga questions din po na lumalabas ng mga tao. Mostly po ay local po, yung mga local people yung tinatanong dito sa ating bansa. Pero baka ma-encounter nyo siya, so take note na lang po. Si Peter Artedi ay father of ichthyology. So ang ichthyology, for a detailed description, it is the scientific discipline devoted to the study of fish. It includes a wide range of topics like taxonomy and systematics, zoogeography, general morphology and anatomy, genetics, physiology and behavior, ecology, conservation, and natural history of fishes. So everything about fishes is ichthyology. So yung sa datos po ng ating fish species, 2016, there are a number of 32,000 described or yung mga natukoy po na ating fish species. So pinaka-updated po, this is based from the Esk Mayer's Catalog of Fishes. Meron po tayong 36,149 species of fish. So yun po as of March 7, 2022. So ito po yung reference niya nandito sa right side. So last 2021, meron tayong 35,898 and last year, meron tayong 393 new species na na-describe. For this year, since first quarter pa lang naman, we have 44 species. So, ang ating number of fish species ay 36,149. Sa distribution po ng ating major habitats, most of the fishes were distributed in the marine ecosystem. Also, we can see that 58% of them lives in the seawater. 41% naman po ay nasa freshwater, and 1% of those species move between fresh water and sea during their life cycles. So kapag sa marine fishes, meron din silang mga specific zones kung saan natin sila natatagpuan. Tulad ng coastal zone kung saan yung 58% ng fishes located in the marine waters, 78% doon ay nasa coastal zone, which is less than 200 meters. So open sea naman or open ocean, we have 13%. At dito ay nakapaloob yung kapag sa epipelagic, meron tayong 1% na distribution of fish. Doon sa ating mga deep waters, yung mga deep water pelagic natin, meron tayong 5% na nadidistribute na fish. And yung mga deep water benthic or yung mga bottom species naman ay 7%. And the other parts naman ay nakaka-contribute siya ng 9%. So geographically, yung karamihan sa ating mga yung mga fish species or yung diversity ng ating species ay nakikita sa trophics. So we have here the variation in length of the smallest fishes in the world. So kailangan din sa board dapat marami tayong alam na mga trivial mga trivias, and karamihan din doon ay mga trivial questions. Bukod sa situational questions ay makaka-encounter din kayo ng mga ganitong mga questions din. So we have here the Indonesian minnow, Paedocypris progenetica, which is one of the smallest species in the world, and two gobioids, Trimatom nanus from the Indian Ocean, and Schindleria brevipingus from Australia's Great Barrier Reef. Kung ma-observe nyo, ito yung mga fish species natin, mga smallest fishes in the world. Parang dito sa picture, ang maximum length nito, Schindleria, siya yung pinakamaliit among these 3 species mentioned. So yun, parang yung iba, visible siya pero sobrang liliit niya na. 1 centimeter yung standard length niya. And katulad nitong Trimatom nanus, ang maximum length niya is 1 centimeter. For the longest naman na cartilaginous fish, we have the Rhincodon typus. And the longest bony fish is the Regalecus glesnae or yung oarfish. So wag kayong mako-confuse kapag tinanong kung ano yung longest fish. We should ask kung ito ba ay cartilaginous or bony fish. Pag sinabing cartilaginous ay Rhincodon typus or yung whale shark. Pag sinabi naman na bony fish, yun naman ay yung oarfish. So yun, magkaiba sila. Meron ngang siguro di ko na lang din i-mention kasi yung mga katrabaho ko dito nagjo-joke. Sabi nila ano daw yung isdang pinakamahaba. So anyone can guess. Medyo corny yung joke pero pamatay oras lang. Ano daw yung pinakamahabang isda sa buong mundo? So ang sagot niya ay sardinas daw kasi kapag bubuksan daw yung dalataw, hindi daw matukoy kung nasan yung ulo tapos yung buntot. So ibig sabihin sa sobrang haba, hindi na daw nagkasya sa lata. So yun. Pero wag kayong ma-confuse. Ang ating longest cartilaginous fish ay whale shark at ang ating bony fish ay oarfish. We also have the heaviest fish. It is the Mola alexandrini or yung bumphead sunfish. It is a member of the more commonly known Mola Mola ocean sunfish species. So ito ay mga na-identify siya ng mga Japanese fish experts sa study nila sa Etsuro Sawai of Hiroshima University. And etong article na to, kung saan tinukoy siya as the world's heaviest fish, ay na-publish sa Ethological Research sa Ethological Society of Japan. So, ito yung heaviest bony fish na nahuli, weighing 2,300 kilogram.
Ma'am
So,
PM,
yes po,
yes
ma'am.
po. Mag-ano lang ako dun sa ibang nating mga participants. Paki-unmute po. I mute po yung inyong mga mic. Medyo disturbing po yung ibang sound. Hello po. Merong merong pumapasok na ano. Okay. Okay na po. Thank you, Ma'am PM.
Okay po,
Ikaw na
ma'am.
ulit. Sige, thank you. Oops, bumalik na ulit. Sige po, go.
We also have superlative fishes. So when we say superlative, these were the extremes or unusual fishes. So one of the examples here is the coelacanths. So yung coelacanths ay ka-age siya ng mga dinosaurs. So sabi ay namatay na o wala na sila, na-extinct na during the end of Cretaceous or yung 65 million years ago. However, in 1983 and 1938, merong fisherman sa South Africa na nakapag-trolled up ng live coelacanth. And the latest na nakahuli ng live coelacanth, yung nakuha siya sa Indonesia in 1999. So, ayun yung Latimeria menadoensis. So, ito yung pictures niya. Ito yung mga Indonesian fishermen with the coelacanth caught at Indonesia. Also, we have lungfishes. So, it can live in a dry state and suspended animation for up to 4 years, becoming dormant when their ponds dry up and reviving quickly when immersed in water. So we all know that lungfishes can live into extremes kahit na sobrang tuyot na yung mga ponds natin, they can revive easily and immersed in the water. We also have Antarctic fishes. They live in water that is colder than the freezing point of their blood. And the deep sea fishes, which includes many forms that can swallow prey larger than themselves. So some of the characteristics of deep sea fishes, they have lights that enable them to find their prey or para makakuha sila ng kanilang food. And also, a new species of anglerfish was found in the Philippines. So ito yon yung Photocorinus spiniceps. So ito siya, nandito sa right side. And also, it is the smallest vertebrate in the world. There are also fishes that lives for a maximum of 150 years, like the sturgeons and scorpaenid rockfishes. Meron din naman na maikli lang yung lifespan nila tulad nitong African killifish, which can live up to 10 weeks. Yung gender change, common siya among fishes, and some of them simultaneously turn from male to female, and others change from female to male. And one of the example of this is the Amphiphrion auxiliaris, yung isda sa Finding Nemo, which is a Protandrus hermaphrodite. They have the ability to change sex from male to female at maturity. So when they mature, they change sex from male to female. So we have different types of hermaphrodites. So when we say hermaphrodite, they have both kinds of reproductive organs, which is male and female. And First is the synchronous hermaphrodites. So pag sinabing synchronous hermaphrodites, ay ito yung male and female at the same time. They have the both sexes. And the sequential hermaphrodite, they change from one gender to another. Depende na lang kung male or female. And the other one is the protandric hermaphrodite. It changes from male to female. So example nito ay yung Cebus and yung ating Amphiphrion auxiliaris. We have protogynous hermaphrodite. Kabaligtaran siya lang nung protandric, female to male. So let's take note of the mga yung mga keywords when we say pro parang siya yung first. And kung makikita natin, gyno. Pag sinabing gyne, it means female. So, pag pro, tapos nasundan siya ng gyno, protogynous. Ibig sabihin nun, female muna siya. Ang consequences nun ay magiging male siya. Pag sinabi nating protandric, yung andri, which is male, tapos may pro siya sa unahan, at nauna siyang maging male bago maging female. So, let's gawa tayo ng mga sarili mga keywords para mas madali nating matandaan yung mga technical terms. So, sa totoo lang, hindi to agad masasa. Pero kapag gumawa tayo ng mga sarili nating keys na maintindihan natin, ay mas mapapadala yung ating pag. So pag sinabing protandric, so anong ibig sabihin nun? Pag protandric hermaphrodite. Anyone?
Male to female.
Yes, male to female. Kapag protogynous,
To male.
Female to male.
yun. So yun, na iintindi natin lahat. So yun, we also have bidirectional or alternate hermaphrodites. They can change between gender. So their lifespan, pwede silang mag-change ng sexes. They can be male to female, female to male in their span of life. So we also have the reproduction of fishes. We have 3 types. So bisexual, sperm and egg develop with male and female individuals. We also have hermaphroditic. Both sexes are in one individual and rarely, as among certain serranids, self-fertilization or true functional hermaphrodism exists. We also have parthenogenetic, wherein the development of young without fertilization. So, kaya niya mag-reproduce kahit wala siyang nagaganap na sexual, yung sexual na reproduction. And
Mating, DM.
yes po, sexual mating.
Mating.
Hindi ko masabi. So we also have development, wherein fertilization takes place if there is complete union of the nucleic content of the sperm with that of the egg. So in here, we have oviparous, reproduction by oviposited eggs. And kapag sinabi nating oviparous, ito yung mga egg laying. And kapag sinabi nating viviparous, yun yung mga live bearing. And pag sinabi nating ovoviparous, nagde-develop yung egg niya within the mother, pero na papanganak siya as yung mismong alive, or yung as in wala na siya sa kanyang egg. So kapag oviposited sa eggs, kapag VV, parang baby, nilabas ng walang egg, and ovoviparous, na-develop yung egg within the mother and inilabas siya ng buhay. So fish classification, kapag sinabi natin agnatostomata, ito yung mga jawless fish. Yung keywords dito ay yung which is without, and natos, which is jaw. kapag agnatostomata ay walang jaw. Examples nito ay fishes and lampreys. And we also have Natostomata, which has jaws. And examples of this are the Chondrichthyes or cartilaginous fishes, which includes sharks, rays, and skates. We also have teleostomy or bony fishes. Kapag sinabi natin Chondrichthyes, they have skeleton or they have endoskeletal calci.
Hello po, PM. Medyo nag-lag yata ang ano mo. Is it the microphone? Yes po.
And also they have
Oo.
squalene, yung lipid nila, filled livers. And meron din silang soft fin rays and unsegmented rays. So yun yung mga characteristics kapag sinabi nating Chondrichthyes. Kapag naman teleostomy or yung mga bony fishes, they have jaws and they have true bony skeleton. At meron din silang mga paired fins. They also have lungs or swim bladders. So yun yung mga characteristics ng ating bony fishes. For the taxonomic characters, it can be classified into 4. The first one is the meristic characters, which is referred to characters that correspond to body segments. So kapag sinabing meristic, ito yung countable structure. So mabibilang natin yung number of scales nila, gill rakers, and so on. Kapag sinabing morphometrics, ito naman yung mga measurable structures. Ito yung pwede natin makuha yung measurement from head length, eye diameter, and other ratios or measurement. So last time, nagbigay ako ng mga different measurements of fishes such as total length, standard length, eye orbit length. So yon ay pumapasok sa morphometric characters. And also, we have the anatomical characters, which includes the skeleton and other characters of the soft anatomy. So kapag sinabing anatomical characters, yun yung tumutukoy sa anatomy ng fishes, which is the skeleton composed of viscera, muscles, and blood vessels. For the molecular characters, especially nuclear DNA and mitochondrial DNA have become increasingly useful at levels of classification. So all organisms contain DNA, RNA, and proteins. Sa yung molecular characters, ito yung mga tumutukoy nung mga yon. So we also have the morphology in fishes. Kapag sinabi nating morphology, so in biology, the study of the size, shape, structure of animals, plants, and microorganisms, and the relationships of their constituent parts. So kapag sinabing fish morphology, pag-aaralan natin dito yung size, yung shape, and structure. What composes the fish. So we have here a picture of different parts of fish, and it has different basic directions, which is dorsal, located siya sa upper part ng fish, posterior, sa caudal part niya, and ventral, lower body part ng fish, and the anterior. So these are the external parts of the fish. Kung makikita nyo dito, meron tayong mga definitions sa left, and the parts can be seen on the right side. We have the snout. So ito siya, kung nakikita nyo yung mouse ko, yung area between the head and the tip of the upper jaw, yun yung ating snout. Kapag sinabing cheek, parang sa tao, yun nasa gilid ng ating head, posterior to the eye and anterior to the posterior margin of the preopercle. So we also have the nape, dorsal area, just posterior to the head, and operculum, Ito yung plate-like structure na nagko-cover dun sa ating mga four bones or bronchial chambers. We have also the branchiostegals. So ito siya. It is the slender bony elements in the gill membrane and slightly ventral and posterior to the operculum. So kung ito yung operculum, nandito siya sa posterior part. And we have the isthmus. Ito yung area of the throat ventral to the gill openings. Ito siya. If this is the gill openings, nandito lang siya. Ito yung isthmus natin. We also have the lateral line. It is the sensory system consisting of pores and canals along the head. And it is used for the detection of vibrations and water movements. So, sa ibang isda, yung lateral line, very visible siya gawa ng mga scales along the body. We also have the caudal peduncle. Ito siya, yung nagdudugtong sa ating tail and the body. We also have different body shapes. So, we have compressed, depressed, globiform, anguilliform, fusiform. There are several shapes and sizes ng fish. So, some of them are compressed, which is flattened laterally. And sometimes strongly so, are often deep-bodied. We also have depressed. So, ito siya. Para siyang pinlat, ventrally. We also have globiform, which is rounded or often spherical. Anguilliform, elongated siya and tubular. And meron din tayong fusiform. Kalimitan ito ay sa mga tuna. Bullet shape. We also have different body configurations. Kung makikita nyo dito, yung ating letter A and B, sila yung mga rover predators. And yung letter C, they are lie-in-wait predator. Si letter D naman, dito sa picture natin sa right side, ito yung mga surface-oriented fish. So, detailed ko siya i-discuss mamaya. Pero kung makikita nyo naman siya dito, yun yung mga itsura nila para medyo ma-familiarize kayo sa kanilang mga body configurations. So, letter E, meron tayong bottom rover. Letter F, kung makikita nyo yung ating bottom clinger. We also have flatfish, yung letter G. Rat tail naman, yung letter H. Meron din tayong deep-bodied fish, letter I, and eel-like fish, which is letter J. For the rover predators, yung pinaka-characteristics nito, na mabilis siya na mag-move sa water to search out for their prey. So, nag-include siya ng mga fusiform body types, katulad ng tuna, mackerel, at swordfish. So, isa to sa questions kung ano daw yung pinaka-mabilis na isda. Ang mga choices doon, kung tuna, swordtail, so very tricky. Meron pa dong salmon, swordfish. So, naulit siya 2 beses. Kailangan mo talagang isipin yung sagot. Kasi kapag nagkamali ka sa isa, mali ka na din sa dun sa isang question kung parehas yung sagot mo. So, we also have lie-in-wait predators. Ganito yung itsura niya. Yung mga lie-in-wait predators natin, mainly piscivorous fish eaters sila. At very well suited sila for ambushing or pagkukuha ng mga fast swimming prey. So, yung body nila ay fusiform pero elongated din siya and often torpedo type. Yung head nila ay flattened and some of their dorsal and anal fins are placed back. So, makikita nyo sila dito. Nakakatulong ito ng malaki sa kanila para mabilis nilang ma-ambush yung mga fast swimming prey. Samples nito ay yung mga barracuda fishes natin at yung mga needle fishes. For the surface-oriented predators, We have examples of these are the Gambusia affinis or yung ating mosquito fish. We also have the killifish and yung flying fishes. These are typically small in size and they move upward. Yung mouth din nila ay pointing upward. And fusiform to deep yung body type nila. They also have dorsal fins placed towards the rear of their bodies. So for the bottom fishes, we have 5 types of bottom fishes. So first is the bottom rovers. Ang bottom rovers, they have small eyes and well-developed marvels. Their head is flattened and yung meron silang back hump. So parang yung sa hito, yung mga janitor fishes, they are flattened and back hump. So yung karamihan sa mga bottom rovers ay bony fishes. Meron din silang mga small eyes and barbels. Examples nito ay catfishes. Meron silang malalaking mouths. Tapos meron din silang barbels. Also, we have sturgeons, yung mga Alcipenseridae natin na species. They have protrusible lips located well below the snout. And they are used to suck plant and animal matter of the bottom. We also have bottom clingers. Yung ating mga bottom clingers, kalimitan ay maliliit silang isda na merong flattened heads. And also, yung structures nila, itong mga structures na to ay very handy sa kanila para mag-swim swift sa streams or mabilis silang, nakakatulong ito yung kanilang mismong body configuration para maka-swim sila sa mga streams or intertidal areas na merong malalakas na agos. So, ang mga example nito ay yung ating mga sculpins, mga guppies, and clingfishes. We also have bottom hiders. So, medyo inaantok na ba? Medyo malapit na tong matapos. Kaya pa bang i-take ng ating mga So sana nag-notes kayo para medyo mabalikan niyo yung ating mga lectures and kung meron man akong nami-miss ay mabasa niyo siya and ma-research niyo din. So ito, meron din tayong bottom hiders. Similar in many respects to the bottom clingers, but they lack of clinging device. They have elongated bodies and smaller heads. And they usually live under rocks or in crevices or lie quietly on the bottom in still water. Ito, yung karamihan sa kanila ay wala silang mga clinging body parts. Unlike the other fishes na na-mention ko kanina, meron sila. Pero ito ay they tend to hide in crevices or live under rocks. So, ganun yung kanilang characteristics. So, ang examples nito ay yung mga darters and blennies natin. Yung iba din dito ay eel-like forms. Katulad nitong itong blennies. We also have the rat tail, kung saan yung ating shape nito ay nag-evolve from Osteichthyes and Chondrichthyes. So, examples nito ay yung grenadiers and brotulas and chimeras. These fishes are almost all bottom dwelling. So, sila ay nag-i-inhabit sa ating mga deep sea or benthic parts of the sea. So, ang peculiar meron silang mga peculiar morphologies and nabubuhay sila para mag-scavenge o maghanap ng mga prey sa benthic such as benthic invertebrates. So we also have deep-bodied fishes. They are laterally flattened, compressiform fishes with a body depth usually at least 1/3 that of the standard length. So kalimitan nitong um, nakikita sa mga coral reefs and thickly vegetated. Uh, nag they are also found in schools such as examples of these are shad and herring. And we also have eel-like. Ito po ay yung mga elongated bodies na mga fishes. Meron din silang blunt or wedge-shaped heads. And they include taniform, anguilliform, and filiform shapes in all one categories. So ang example nito, itong bodies, example ng bodies nila ay kalimitan makikita sa mga eels, loaches, and gunnels. So medyo mahaba po kasi yung um, masyadong malawak yung topic ng fish morphology and biology. Actually, hindi siya kaya po ng isang session. Meron po akong hindi pa muna isinama. So siguro po kung mapagbibigyan ay next session na lang po yun. Yung mga fins, different types of fins, scales. So next time na lang po natin iyon i-cover. Any questions po? Clarifications? Violent reactions? So yun lamang po. Doon na po nagtatapos yung lecture ko. Ma'am Pre?
Oo, si Ma'am Precious nag-leave out mo ng konti, ano? So ako muna makakapiling nyo. I'm Ma'am Patet. Thank you very much, Miss PM. Everyone, let's give Miss Roque a virtual applause, please. Everyone, thank you very much. So, Miss PM, talagang very distinct and comprehensive ang iyong naging presentation for tonight, no? Talagang very detailed at saka talagang on the dot talaga ng mga topics. So, and very comprehensive enough para matandaan on your several tips sa magiging questions sa ating examination na ma-encounter natin sa PRC. So, as Ms. PM said, kung meron po kayong questions, clarifications regarding the topics discussed, please do so.
Meron po ditong isang chat. So yes po, makakapag-provide po ako ng presentation. Isend ko na lang po ito kay Ma'am Patet or kay Ma'am Pre. And yung kanina pong mga pinlash ko na copies or parang pictures ng book covers, available din po siya. Meron din po ako. Send ko na lang din po. Para may references po kayo. So, any questions po? I hope na meron po kayo natutunan today. So, siguro kapag may question lang din ako, kapag ba sinabing jawless fish, ano siya? Ano ba yung ating mga jawless fish? Sa mga nag-take note dyan, pag jawless, yes, they include lampreys, hagfishes, and yung term. Ano yung term pag sinabing jawless fish?
Agnasan.
Agnatostomata.
Agnatostomata.
Yes po. Lumalabas po siya sa board exam. So, kailangan po natin siyang tandaan. Kapag po may jaw, ano po siya? Yes, tatanggalin lang natin yung a. Kasi yung a ay without. So, natostomata kapag may jaws. So, yun, kanina na-discuss din yung mga different types of hermaphrodites and yung mga other trivial na mga information. Sana medyo mag-sink in sa inyo. So, gaano karami yung mga fish species? O as of March 7, based sa SMEO.
36,149.
36,149.
149.
Tama po yun. 36,149.
49.
100.
So, wag kayong ma-confuse sa different numbers na lumalabas sa internet. Always search for reliable references kasi yun yung makakatulong sa inyo sa mismong board exam. So, we also have pag sinabi nating poikilodermic, anong ibig sabihin nun?
Cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded.
Miss PM,
Yes po, ma'am.
the other term for cold-blooded or poikilo is it ectotherm, no?
Yes
This
po,
is
ma'am.
ectotherm. Pagka endotherm, they are the warm-blooded, tama po ba?
Warm-blooded po.
Yeah,
Yes po, ma'am.
endotherm. Pag ectotherm, yun yung mga cold-blooded.
So, siguro po ay mag-send din po ako ng post-test and to know if mapa-perfect na po ba.
Yes, please, Miss PM. So, participants, mga mentees, be ready for the post-test.
Is parthenogenetic reproduction po ba ay like cloning? Yes po. So, they don't need yung fertilization. They can fertilize from itself po. Kaya naman po nila. They don't need po ng half mother genes para makagawa ng full clone. So, isend ko na lang po yung ating post-test para po makapag-answer po kayo. I hope dun po sa ating lecture ay ma-perfect na po ito since these are 10 questions only. Yan po siya.
So, meron na po, nakashare na po yung post-test.
Yes po, ma'am. Na-send ko na po sa chat box.
Okay, so ilang 10 minutes din yan, Miss PM?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, sige po. So, if pwede, while working on it, ma-remind lang po for your attendance and evaluation. Magpo-post din yata. Saglit lang po.
So meron na po tayong 57 na responses sa ating post-test. And meron tayong 93 participants. Mostly dun sa mga nag-answer ay nagre-range yung kanilang scores from 7 to 10 and madami na yung nakaka-10. So yun, medyo may natututunan naman kayo sa akin. Hopefully, mag-sink in to lahat hanggang board exam. So dun sa mga nakatapos na magsagot, I would like to ask kung ano yung ating longest bony fish na na-mention ko kanina. 2 beses ko siya inulit. Yes, oarfish. Yun yung ating longest bony fish. Kapag yung sinabing cartilaginous, ano yung cartilaginous natin na
Whale shark.
yes, yung whale shark.
Akala ko sardinas.
Rinkodon type.
Yan, Ringcodon typhus. So, ano yung ating heaviest fish?
Si
Mola
Mola.
Mola alexandrini.
Mola alexandrini. Yun yung ating heaviest fish. Ilang percent yung fishes na distributed sa marine water?
41%.
58.
58%.
58%.
Yan, tama siya, 58%. Meron na lang tayong 2 minutes para mag-answer ng ating post-test. Yung sardinas, ako din, hindi ko din siya makalimutan. Kasi nasan ba yung ulo nun at saka yung buntot? Sa sobrang haba, hindi na doon nagkasya sa can. Pero alam ko namang hindi niyo maisasagot yun. Wala yun doon. Wala yun sa choices.
Ang gagaling ng students natin. Ang dami nilang na-retain. Meron na siguro magta-top dito sa board exam. Excited kami. Ilan na nakasagot? And then siguro we can open the cam of others para nga
Yes po.
makapicture din tayo before dito while you're answering. Pwede ba naming makita yung mga gwapo at magagandang mga mukha ng aming participants? Okay, so tawag dito. Page 1. Okay, page 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, page 2. Okay, sige. 1, 2, 3. Yan. Page 3, 1, 2, 3. And then lastly, page 4. Okay, so for our next speaker, before ko makalimutan, next week meron tayo. And then siguro last na yon. And if some other topics na relevant dito sa ating review, if hindi namin siya mapapa-online review, rest assured that yung mga notes, lectures will be uploaded. So stay tuned lang always. And then next month, mag-aquaculture tayo. So, ang dami nating mga speakers na mga magagaling like pang PM na magre-review sa inyo. Some of them are top passers sa board exam and we are happy that they have accepted our invitation for the free review. Okay, so Ma'am PM, kamusta na po yung results ng ating mga students? Is there an improvement po ba? PM, ano ka? Mute. Naka-mute.
Ay, hello po, Ma'am Pre.
Yes.
Yes po, ma'am. Malaki po yung improvement po sa kaninang scores and karamihan po ay nakakuha ng perfect score.
Wow, congratulations. Dapat talaga, ang daming yung sabihin natin, ang daming yung need kabisaduhin, but it's up to you on how you will remember all those things. And syempre, aral-aral lagi. Balikan natin yung mga lectures and this will be uploaded, yung link ng ating recording for today. So, any questions pa po sa ating speaker? If you have any clarification, feel free to ask now. The presentation will be uploaded later. So, hintay-hintay lang po tayo and then please accomplish yung ating evaluation form, attendance form since kailangan po namin siya na i-report din. So, hinihingi lang po namin yung inyong konting help in accomplishing the forms. Okay? So, any questions pa po? PM, okay na ba yung kanilang ano?
Yes po, ma'am. Okay na po.
Okay, so again, PM, thank you so much. I hope na we will see you again sa Aquatic Echo siguro. It's because we're still finding speakers for Aquatic Echo, but that is still 2 months away pa naman. 2 months away. So, i-ask ka namin ulit. Thank you so much and hopefully babalik ka dito sa aming ating online review. Ken, so let's give Ma'am PM. Tawag dito, mayroon ba ditong virtual clap sa sa ating reactions. Ayan, virtual clap.
Thank you din po sa mga nakinig. Sa mga kabatch ko din po dyan.
Ayan, ay
Hello
mga
po.
students na
And may nakita din po ako ditong taga NSAP. Hello po, Ate Jo. Hoping na yung mga kasama dito ngayon ay makapasa sa board. So, pray lang. And kaya nyo yan.
Yes, prayer talaga pinaka powerful sa lahat. And then also believe and don't doubt yung inyong mga napag-aralan. Okay, so I think this concludes our review tonight. PM, again, thank you so much and I'll wait for your presentation.
Okay.
So, if you don't have any questions, mamaya, kasi open naman tayo dun sa ating mga reply sa ating Google Classroom. Nagre-reply naman ako agad. Pwede kayo doong mag-comment pala. At nakikita naman ni Ma'am PM, pwede na siya mag-reply doon if meron nahihiya kayong magtanong. Okay, so thank you so much everyone. And again, tawag dito, reminders, ating bagong member ng Board of Examiners, Dr. Gerald Quinicho from UP Visayas, yung kaniyang specialization is fishing grounds, fishing gears, mga ganon, stock assessment. So, study, yung mga tinuro sa atin. PM.
Nanti kaya wasa. Ato, wasa to please.
Okay, so yun talaga yung lalabas. Okay. So,
Thank you po, everyone. Thank you for
name. Okay,
Thank you, Ma'am
name,
PM.
Sige. I-upload ko doon, sige. Gerald Quinicho, yung bago. Dr. Gerald Quinicho. He was my prof sa fishing grounds. So pag-aralan nyo ha, tingnan nyo kung ano yung mga specialization niya. PM, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you din po.
Thank you. Again, sa lahat, see you again next week. Magpo-post ako ng announcement sa ating Google Classroom. Stay tuned lang para makita ninyo yung updates. Now, sa mga date ng ating mga tawag dito, same link pa din kasi recurring meeting ito. Baka magtaka kayo kasi minsan kinaka-copy-paste ko lang din naman yung link. Okay, so if wala na, pwede na po tayong mag-leave. Bye-bye.
Thank you po. God bless.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Ma'am PM. Thank you, Ma'am Precious.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you po. God
See you
bless.
next week and hopefully magstay kayo sa ating review kasi
Sige po, salamat po.
namin speaker is talaga mga magagaling. Thank you, bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ano nga?
Okay.